When I was with the Marlins, I did not have a Twitter account. I did not have an Instagram. I was not on Facebook. I didn't do anything related to social media. When I left the Marlins, which is my way of saying after many, many years of therapy, when I left the Marlins, I started a Twitter account. And we together have been building the Twitter account and the Twitter following. And you follow me at David P. Samson. Thank you. Or Instagram, or you even email me sometimes. And I got to understand that social media is a great way of interacting with listeners of Nothing Personal and with people who you don't have a chance to meet necessarily, but you're interested in what they have to say. You're interested in what they think. You can't respond to everyone, but you try. What I wasn't aware of when I got into the social media game was the amazing negativity that happens, the amazing level of cyber courage that exists, the amazing anger that exists with people that gets manifested through replies to tweets or quote tweets or comments on an Instagram page. The risk of letting people into your life, of showing them private moments, can be outweighed by the pain that is caused by people reflecting on those moments. Pain that can be because of jealousy, pain that can be because people hold you in contempt for something you've done, not something you're doing. Maybe it's holding you in contempt for something you're doing, not for what you've done. There's an entire rainbow of reasons that people use social media to spread vitriol. I spent much time talking to players about this because I was shocked that players had a different view than I did. And my view was, I don't care. I was built of armor. I was robotic. And when I was running a team, I would talk to the players who would sometimes indicate that they were upset by something or struggling with something. And my response was, why can't you be like me? Put a shell over yourself, put an armor over yourself, and ignore it. Just ignore it. It's as though it doesn't exist if you ignore it. There's a great philosopher that says the only thing that exists is what you see in front of you. And when you turn your back to it, it ceases to exist and then reappears when you look at it again. I'm going back to 1988 in college, and I cannot remember which philosopher that was, but it was a philosopher. I always want to say it's Immanuel Kant, but it's not. It's definitely not John Stuart Mill. I can't remember who it is, but that was my view of everything. If I'm not looking at it, if I'm not engaged with it, it does not exist. It's almost the centerpiece of narcissism. Maybe sociopath, of which I don't believe I'm either. As a matter of fact, I take those tests in the magazines all the time, and I'm at least 2 to 3 traits away from both, which means I'm safe. And the players would explain that it can be hard to read the things we read. Talked to D. Gordon many times about some of the things he would hear regarding the fact that he is black. Just staggering to me. Talked to pitchers who get rocked and they read to me some of the things that are written because they had bet on the game or they're a fan of the team. Didn't think much about it. Started Nothing Personal, started working at CBS, started on social media, started getting some comments, and it didn't mean anything to me. They rolled off my back. But as the years have passed, as I've begun the therapeutic process of my shell coming undone one tiny piece at a time, waiting for someone to pierce that opening with hurt and hatred and anger and sadness, all the things I was trying to protect myself against. I'm finding that sometimes I read things that impact me more than they used to. I'm not sure anymore whether that is a trade worth making. There are benefits to losing your shell. There are benefits to opening yourself up emotionally, to allowing yourself to be loved and to love and to be happy. But there's a tremendous downside. Sports fans, people in politics, mostly sports and politics, feel as though they have the right to say things and do things that they don't have the right to say or do, that they would never allow to be said or done to them or about them. There's a tournament going on in New York right now, a tennis tournament, the US Open, huge, obviously a Grand Slam. Djokovic is trying to win the Grand Slam, first time since 1969. But I was struck by Shelby Rogers and Sloane Stephens, two women's tennis players who lost their recent matches. And the first thing they wanted to talk about, and this is all in the wake of Naomi Osaka losing a match and saying, I'm taking a break from tennis. I need help and I'm going to get it. Shelby Rogers and Sloane Stephens went public saying the bullying that they get when they lose a tennis match is almost too much to believe. When you have to release a statement that says, I'm human. After last night's match, I got 2,000 or more messages of abuse and anger from people upset by yesterday's result. It's so hard to read messages like these, she said, but I'll post a few so you guys can see what it's like after a loss. I got to read you one of these. I promise to find you and destroy your leg so hard that you can't walk anymore, Sloane Stephens. Fixers and corruption like you must be banned forever and in jail. I hope you enjoyed your last moments on the court today. And those weren't even the bad ones. A bunch of people said to Sloane Stephens, you ought to get raped. Sending emojis of monkeys. Do you deserve to have do we deserve to have social media and the benefits of social media if the result is that there are people out there who cause this pain to people? Even if I was thinking about what kind of people would do that. Obviously, it's a bunch of incels, right? Incels are people. Look it up if you don't know what that is. Coca taught me that word. I'd never heard it before. And then it made sense to me learning what an incel was and why incels do the things they do. And I'd like to dismiss the people who are giving these comments just as incels, when the fact of the matter is there's those who say these things and mean these things who aren't incels. What are they? What is it about the human condition that gives you the right to bully someone? I was watching a movie recently about bullying, about teen suicide, what it leads to. As a matter of fact, I know exactly what it was. It's something I'm watching right now and we'll review. I can't think of the name though. But I remember in my head, and I wanted to talk to you today because I want you to do one thing for me. We'll give you 45 minutes a day. I love you guys. I really do. But for me, I want to know, do you laugh when you see it? Do you smile when you see these comments? Do you dismiss it when you see these comments? Do you ignore it when you see these comments? Every one of those is wrong. We can't sit back. And this is not me dreaming. This is not me being, preachy. I can't believe people say mean and racist things. I can't believe there's racists. I can't believe there's misogynists. I can't believe there's incels. It's not me being innocent or unsophisticated. It's me wondering how you sit back and laugh or read or do not empathize, sympathize, and then work toward a world where it doesn't happen. When your sports hero loses a game, it is well within your right to boo. It's well within your right to send a message saying, man, you suck today. I'm angry you lost. I bet $100 on you and I lost. It is not all right to bully on social media thinking they're celebrities, they're rich, they're tennis players. I have never met a rich person who doesn't get impacted by these statements. They just say they do, like I used to. I've never met an athlete who actually ignores and dismisses the booze the way I tell you they do. Because they hear it. These athletes, these celebrities, the people who we deify for no particular reason other than a skill that they have that we don't have, while they're not deifying you for the skill that you have, whether you work in a factory or a lawyer or a doctor or a student or a teacher or whatever you are. We view them as more than human. My message to Shelby Rogers and Sloane Stephens is I hear you. I'm sorry for you. And I will not stand by and have this happen. When I see it, when I can do something by blocking, by reporting, by having a conversation with the person, I don't care if I have to sleep 10 minutes a day. I'm going to make that my goal.